Alicia was a village girl who became a hero after many hard trials, but her party gets instantly wiped out by the first demon lord they face. However, the demon lord revives her because he needs her help in raising a human baby he adopted on a whim. And now, she has to keep the baby safe while dealing with her mortal enemy. The story starts in a remote village on the continent, where the young Alicia lives with her dad. She is full of excitement and curiosity about everything. And when she notices the map of the world has blurred out everything apart from Edthea, she asks her dad about it, who decides to drop the lore of their world on her. The continent of Edthea is home to 5 humanoid races, including regular humans, ogres, the sea people called Sladen, a race of barbarians called Benti, and the elves with dog-like noses called Haiden. Out of these 5 races, the Haiden people are known for their forging and smithing skills, and only their royal family knows the secrets of turning a rare mineral called arcanite into weapons. The 5 species live together mostly in peace, but their world is limited just to the continent of Edthea, because beyond that is an unexplored place full of magic beasts and their kings, who block the way of humans. He says that the 4 demon lords guarding each direction are incredibly strong, and they have wiped out all the expedition parties sent to their territories. Alicia is disappointed on hearing that they will have to live on Edthea forever. But her dad tells her that according to a legend, one day a hero among heroes will use a secret weapon given to him by the king of Haiden to slay the 4 demon lords and open up the world for humans. He tells her that the demon lords are strong enough to tear down mountains, and the only way humans can fight against them is by using the special weapons that only the king of Haiden has. Alicia gets excited on hearing this and says that she will become a hero and get the special weapons to defeat the demon lord and make the world a much wider place. Fast forward many years, Alicia walked the talk, and now she is one of the 13 heroes selected by the king of Haiden. She travels in a carriage with 6 other heroes, thinking that it is finally the time for her to fulfill her promise to her dad. The guys in the carriage start chatting about how special it is to see so many powerful people in one place, and one of them remarks that it is even rarer to see a female hero. He asks Alicia where she is from, but she doesn't give him an answer. Just then, another hero named Stefan steps in, telling everyone to be ready because they are about to step in the enemy territory. While the other guys are irritated because Stefan is acting as their leader, they can't argue because he is the strongest one of them. Stefan then casually winks at Alicia because he did that just to save her from the awkward small talk, but she is not really interested in him either. Just then, the carriage abruptly stops and the driver tells the heroes that the road ahead is not suitable for driving. Stefan says that he was expecting this, and they will have to travel on foot from here on. Suddenly, a magic beast comes there and swoops the driver away, forcing everyone into action. There are more magic beasts around, and they take away the second driver and begin snacking on the horses. The heroes come out of their carriages, and Stefan directs them to take position so that they can head to the summit and face the demon lord without any casualties. The heroes use their special weapons and the ability they give them to fight off against the magic beasts. But the Lord of South, Clevitus, watches them from afar. The heroes keep fighting the monsters one by one and then head to the Luna Mountain, where Demon King Clev lives. They spot the Demon King on the top of the mountain, and then it suddenly travels to their location in the form of a lightning bolt. The heroes are awestruck to see the majestic monster that is radiating a strange golden aura. They can tell that Clev is incredibly strong, but Stefan takes this moment to aura farm and declares that the 13 heroes will defeat it with the power of the weapons from Haiden Kingdom. He commands everyone to charge ahead, but then suddenly, he gets hit by something so fast that no one has even the time to react. Stefan hits a rock behind him and is left a broken mess, while the demon lord lets his blood drip from his tail. The heroes freak out on seeing this, and one guy rushes in to get revenge. Alicia tries to warn him because her instincts tell her something is wrong, but no one is going to listen to a woman. The hammer guy leaps at Clev, but he gets hit by his tail that tears off his head in an instant. The other heroes start panicking and think of retreating, but they don't know that Clev can control shadows, and he sends his tails through the shadows of the heroes to stab them from the back. Alicia is the only one who notices this, and she immediately notifies everyone, telling them to keep jumping so that they are far away from their shadows. No one is fast enough to keep up with her instructions, but while others are getting radioed, Alicia dodges Clev's attacks and dashes towards him. Clev is impressed by her presence of mind, but as opposed to her, the guys are a hopeless cause. They try to fight against the demon lord directly, only to get one-shotted by his tails, and Clev is curious about why they are here. He has only viewed humans as insects in his long life, and the last time he saw them was 1,000 years ago. He wonders how and why creatures as weak as them are here while continuing to massacre them until only Alicia is left. She dodges all of the demon lord's attacks and then flies towards him, hitting him with her full strength, only to scratch his horn. Clev is irritated by this, and he sends a powerful gust of wind that chops Alicia and her dreams. The demon lord, however, is not satisfied with this, and he decides to pay the humans a visit to learn why are they targeting his land. He goes to Hydrat, the capital city of the Haydn Kingdom, where blacksmiths are working tirelessly to forge weapons. As soon as Clev lands on a watchtower, everyone freaks out and runs away to safety. Clev recalls that the heroes talked about the king of Haydn giving them the special weapons, and he realizes that he should have a chat with the guy as a fellow king. In the meantime, the soldiers guarding the city arrive there to fight against him, but he doesn't even pay them any attention. He just thinks that he will kill everyone in his way until he reaches the king, because that is exactly what the heroes did in his territory. The soldiers start shooting at him, but they are not even worth his time, so Clev simply ignores them and starts running on rooftops, heading in the direction of the royal palace. The royal guards also get ready to face him and bring out their big weapons, but their attacks are too slow and too weak to do anything against him. He simply tears down the palace walls to get rid of them, and a messenger runs to the king to inform him about the situation. Judging by the tremors and the loud sounds, the king had already guessed that the heroes have failed and the demon lord is here. He says that the strength of the weapons he gave to the heroes might not have been up to the mark, and he failed to make the legend come true in his age. His soldiers tell him to flee to safety, but the king refuses because he knows that there is no running away from the demon lord. He decides to use his remaining time to seal the forge deep within the palace, because if that is destroyed, they will lose their means to ever fight back against the magic beasts. Meanwhile, the royal guards bring out special weapons that use the same red metal arcanite as the heroes' weapons, and Clev realizes that this is the only thing that poses any real threat to him. He remembers that Alicia's attack scratched his horn, and he begins thinking that even insects can be dangerous with proper weapons. He immediately destroys the weapons, and then decides to destroy the forge as well, because he doesn't want humans to grow any stronger. Back in the palace, the king opens the door to the forge, but just as he is about to enter it, the rumbling grows louder and closer. The king closes the door, choosing to stay outside the forge instead, and just then, the roof is torn apart by Clev, who tells the king that he was searching for him. The king is shocked to see him speaking the human language, and says that a beast should not use their language. Clev tells him to be careful about his words because if he doesn't like them, he will destroy not just his kingdom, but all of humanity. He asks the king to tell him what kind of people are the humanoids who live in Edthia, and why do they keep coming to his territory even when he has stopped them every time. The king decides to go out like a true Aura farmer and tells the demon lord that a beast like him won't understand his reasons. Clev just swipes his head away with his tail and decides that he will eradicate all 5 humanoid races. As he walks back while planning to raise an army, he hears the sound of a crying baby. He decides to ignore the baby, but then the woman who got crushed under the rubble trying to protect the baby asks him to stop. She asks him to save the child, and Clev is dumbfounded because no one in their right mind would ask him to save someone. He simply tells the woman that he is planning to destroy all of humanity, and she should blame the fact that she was born as a human for her death. The woman tells him that children can't choose when and where they are born, and he should not let the kid die just because the adults tried to harm him. Her words force Clev to turn around, and he asks her to prove that the child is worth saving. She tells him that she can't do it because she is going to die, but when the child grows up, he will prove his worth himself. She dies with that, and Clev decides to take the boy with him after all. He is not really convinced by what the woman told him, but for him, a human's lifespan is too short, and he could use this chance to observe one up close. Back at the Luna Mountain, the magic beasts try to eat the boy, but Clev scares them away. He is already getting irritated by the baby's constant crying, and he uses a bit of his power to restore the baby's strength, but he knows that it won't be enough. He doesn't know the first thing about humans and throws the baby into a pile of poop eating bugs when he soils himself. The baby starts crying even harder at this, and Clev feels like he made the worst mistake of his life in bringing him here. However, as the king of magic beasts, he can't go back on his decisions just because he is inconvenienced. He plans to watch over the kid and then decide if the humanoids are worth saving, and the most important for the baby to grow up well is a mother. Soon, Alicia wakes up from a nightmare about her father being killed by a menacing knight, and she is not even sure where she is right now. As soon as she hears Clev's voice, she turns around and tries to draw her sword. But he tells her that he threw the sword as well as her companions to the bottom of the valley. He says that she was the only one useful among them, so he revived her body using his dark mana. Alicia can't understand what he means by that. Suddenly, she notices that her leg that was torn off is attached to her body again, and she realizes that she died, and now she is just a zombie running on the Demon King's magic. She is utterly confused by that. But then Cleve tells her to get to work and show him her mommy milkers. Alicia freaks out because she didn't expect even the Demon Lord to be a gooner, but he tells her to stop stalling because the baby is hungry. When she doesn't obey, Cleve uses his power to control her body against her will, and he makes Alicia strip, only to find that she can't produce milk because she is a virgin. Alicia lashes out at Cleve for not knowing even this, but he calls her a useless instead. She is flustered by this and demands him to kill her rather than humiliating her like this. But Cleve pins her to the ground, telling her that as long as his power flows through her body, she can't be killed. The baby suddenly starts crying, and Cleve says that he can't do anything about its hunger even with his power. Alicia asks him why the hell does he have a Hymean baby with him, and he tells her that he wants to see the child grow up and judge humanity based on him. He tells Alicia that she is going to give all the information he needs about raising a kid, and the first thing he asks her is how to feed the baby. Alicia can't go against his command and says that he needs to find a wet nurse to feed the baby, and most people hire one using money. Cleve doesn't get the concept of money, so Alicia tells him he can hire anyone in exchange for the arcanite that is scattered around his mountain because it is incredibly rare in human regions. Cleve decides to go and hire a wet nurse immediately, but Alicia stops him, asking if he is stupid or something. She tells him that people will freak out the moment they see him, and he can forget about hiring a nurse. She tells him to give the baby to her because she can find a wet nurse for him, but in reality she plans to save the baby from the Demon King. However, Cleve refuses to let the child leave his sight, and to solve the problem of his appearance, he uses his immense mana and transforms into a human-like form. Alicia freaks out on seeing this, and Cleve tells her that he took the form of the human protecting the child using his power to control the shadows. She tells him to do something about his tails as well, and Cleve sends them inside his shadow, but he doesn't hide the horn. He then decides to name the child Luna after the mountain that is his home, and tells Alicia to lead him to a wet nurse. On the way, they stop at the campsite where Alicia and the other heroes stayed because there is a river nearby. He tells Alicia to wash Luna carefully and keeps nagging about the details. She is annoyed, but also surprised that even a demon lord can have OCD. Once she is done washing the baby, Cleve tells Alicia to wash herself because she is covered in blood and dirt, which is not a good thing for the baby. He also gives her the cloth that Luna was wrapped in, and once Alicia washes the shit stains off it, she finds the crest of the Haydn royal family. She freaks out on realizing that Luna is actually from the Haydn royal family, but she is unaware how Cleve got him. She immediately confronts him about it, asking how he could kidnap a member of the royal family, but Cleve informs her that Luna was actually entrusted to him. Alicia doesn't believe him, but Cleve shares the details about how an injured woman told him to take the baby after he destroyed the royal palace and killed everyone there. Alicia panics on hearing this and says that everyone will be looking for the kid because only the royal family of Haydn knows the secrets to turn arcanite into weapons. However, she soon realizes that she overshared, because after knowing the true legacy of the kid, Cleve decides to make him the puppet king of Haydn and use him to control the kingdom from the shadows. Alicia realizes that she made a mistake, but she is certain that Cleve is obsessed with Luna for some reason. She thinks that if someone harms Luna, Cleve might crash out and destroy all of humanity, and she will stop that at all costs as that is her last job as the hero. The two of them soon reach human territory and immediately get ambushed by some bandits. Alicia tries warning Cleve about it, but it is too late, and he gets bonked hard by the bandit. Alicia realizes that the bandits are going to die now, but then suddenly, Cleve falls to the ground and starts bleeding out. Alicia can't believe her eyes and starts screaming, so another bandit hits her in the back of the head to knock her out. Soon, the rumbling of the bandit carriage wakes Alicia up, and she gets shocked to see that she has been captured along with Cleve. She asks him how can he be so calm in a situation like this, but Cleve tells her that Luna is safe, even though he was crying a lot till now. Alicia crawls towards Cleve, asking him how could he be knocked out with just one hit from the bandit. She asks if he has become as weak as a human after taking this form, and Cleve tells her it is not like that. He was just too shocked at how fragile the human body is, so he fell down and decided to play along. Alicia asks him why don't they run away now, and Clev replies that as long as he makes Luna the king of Haydn, he plans to hide his true identity. Moreover, he wants to see this side of humans as well. He asks Alicia to explain what is going on here and why these injured people are being carried like luggage, and she tells him that they were all attacked by the filthy bandits, and they are probably going to be sold off as slaves. Clev asks her how strong the bandits are, and she replies that they are decently strong as far as humans go, but they don't hesitate in using any dirty tricks, which makes them an irritating opponent. She asks Clev not to base his idea of humanity on the bandits of all people, but he is more curious now. Soon, they arrive at a deep mine where the bandits tell their prisoners to get out. They sort the men and women separately, and as one guy tries to make a run for it, a bandit sends him to the afterlife by throwing a dagger at his back. The bald bandit then declares that they are the Ravens, and anyone who tries to flee or disobey them will be killed. He then tells everyone to keep moving, but asks Alicia to come with him because he has got some plans for her. Clev just watches her being taken away, when a blonde bratty woman calls him towards her cabin. She is not really pleased to see that he has brought a kid and calls out another slave, Nell, who is carrying a pile of bed sheets. She trips as she tries to hurry up, dropping all the bed sheets, and the blonde Carmel scolds her. She then tells Nell that one of their new slaves has got a child, and it is her duty to look after kids. As soon as Nell sees Luna, her eyes light up. On the other hand, the bald bandit takes Alicia to the office of another bandit named Vrock, who is currently the temporary boss of the bandits. The bandit, however, refused to acknowledge him as their boss, and he threatens to let his pet dark beast loose on them if they don't obey him. The men get scared because they are facing a troll, who for some reason obeys Vrock and communicates well with him. Vrock then turns to the bag of Arcanite and Alicia, saying that he heard she got it from the Luna Mountain, which is the stronghold of the Dark Lord Clevites. He knows about the 13 heroes that departed from Haydn to fight Clevites, and he also knows that one of them was a woman. Alicia tries to avoid his gaze, but Vrock is already sure that she is the female hero because she is awfully calm in a situation like this, and she has not yet pissed herself in front of his pet troll. Vrock then tells her that after the heroes failed in their mission, Clevites attacked the royal capital of Haydn and destroyed the castle. He says that it was the best news for their bandit crew, and then unsheathes his knife that has a red edge. Alicia is shocked to see this because only special weapons made from Arcanite have red edges, and only Haydn royals can create them. Vrock tells her that he has heard all about the legendary weapons with special abilities that make their wielders stronger, but the one he has is not a real one. Alicia is surprised to hear that, and he tells her that he doesn't sell just slaves, but also fake magical weapons, and most people are too stupid to know the difference. Vrock then begins explaining the law of supply and demand to Alicia, saying that if the rumors about the Haydn royal family dying are true, it means that these magical weapons can't be created anymore, which increases the value of the already created weapons by a huge amount. The most valuable weapons would be the ones that the heroes carry, but since the heroes die deep in the uncharted territory, they can't get them. However, now that they have a living hero with them, Vrock is sure that they can find the weapons and sell them for a high price. He asks Alicia to tell him where they are, but she refuses to open her mouth, and he decides to let her stay silent for now because he will take her to the Luna Mountain tomorrow to find the weapons. The other bandits say that they can use her to look for their other goal, but Vrock tells them that she is too precious to risk her life, and the other slaves are enough for that. He then tells the bandits to have fun with Alicia if they want, and they start thinking of calling him boss after all. On the other hand, Clev is working in the restaurant run by the blonde bitch Carmel. Her only customers are the bandits whom she serves in more ways than one, and Nell's duty is to breastfeed Luna because the radius of her milkers is larger than her ick. The bandits keep ordering her around and kicking her for being slow, and timid Nell just takes it all without complaining. Meanwhile, Clev works as a waiter, giving food to anyone who calls for him, and Carmel thinks that it would be a shame to sell a good worker like him. However, she is also creeped out by him because he has this strange intensity about him. Just then, a guy trips Nell while she is carrying some rum bottles, causing the bottles to fall and break. He accuses her of being clumsy and breaking the bottles and drags her outside along with his friend, saying that she needs to be punished again. Clev just watches this happen curiously as some bandits laugh at the taste of the weirdos who took Nell outside. The sick perverts spank Nell till she is crying and then tell her not to spill booze again, and she wipes her tears because she needs to hurry and take care of the baby. Meanwhile, the two weirdos keep mocking her for being so stupid when they start feeling dizzy out of nowhere. The very next moment, they cough out blood, fall dead on the ground, and are absorbed by Clev's shadows. Soon, Nell also comes out, and Clev tells her that he wants to talk to her. As she breastfeeds Luna, Clev asks Nell to tell him how exactly is she related to the bandits. She begins telling him that she was born in the bandit crew and never knew anything about her dad. She had a mom though, whom the bandits often hurt and punished. Nell could not understand what was happening because she was born dumb, but once she turned 12, her mother disappeared. Nell didn't know if her mother died or ran away, but then one day, a bandit came to her and started beating her for no reason. It was then that she realized that her mother was protecting her. The bandits didn't show any mercy, and they broke most of her teeth and left her deaf in one ear. They began treating her like cattle, but when Carmen opened her restaurant and brothel, things became a little better. She taught Nell about how to handle men so that they get satisfied quickly and leave her alone, and even though it wasn't much, it helped her. Nell says that now she produces a lot of milk to feed babies, and Clev recalls that only women who have given birth can produce milk. He asks her where her baby is, and Nell gets gloomy, saying that it was born dead. She says that she blamed herself and wanted to die so that she could meet her baby on the other side. But when she woke up, she found a baby she didn't know drinking her milk to survive. That sight warmed her heart, and she decided to live a little longer. She tells Clev that she had 2 more stillborn kids after that, but she stayed here because there were other children who always needed her. She says that she just wants these kids to be happy because she could never see her own, and Clev tells her that he has heard enough. He thanks her for revealing her story and then asks her to come with him. Nell is confused by what he means, and Clev tells her to become Luna's wet nurse. He says that he doesn't trust humans, but he thinks he can trust her, and more than that, Luna seems to like her. He again asks her if she will come with him or stay here and be a slave to the filthy bandits. Nell sincerely thanks him for the offer, but says that he can't help her because he himself is a slave, and she will have to care for more babies in the future. On the other hand, Alicia is being taken to a room by the 2 bandits, who tell her to move fast. They warn her not to even think about jumping off the bridge because she will hit the walls and die before reaching the water. Just then, she sees a guy with a rope tied around him getting ready to jump into the lake, and the bandits mock him for being hopelessly stupid. Alicia is curious about this, and luckily the bandits like to talk. They tell her that she must have heard the stories of the hero Cordwar, and everything suddenly becomes clear to her. She has heard that hero Cordwar visited an Arcanite mine before his death and lost his weapon there. Just then, the man at the bottom takes a hook and jumps into the lake, asking the bandits to keep their promise and free him and his wife if he succeeds in finding the weapon. Alicia yells at him to stop because he is not going to find the weapon, and more importantly, there are dark beasts in the water. However, her warning is too late as the monstrous fish eat the poor man in front of his wife. The bandits laugh at him, and Alicia realizes that they never planned to let him free even if he succeeded. They tell her that nothing she says matters because a whole bunch of bandits is ready to play with her tonight, starting with a crazy knife freak. He jumps on the bridge, saying that he will rip off her clothes here for everyone to see, and Alicia decides to use the curse of immortality Clev placed on her to good use. She dislocates her joints to get out of her handcuffs and then crushes the freak's neck with it. She then uses his knife to cut the bridge's rope, causing both of them to fall to their death, and she just hopes that Clev was not lying about her being immortal. But that's where this video ends. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.